Oh, I'm sorry. Is the game over? Sorry. I just figured get some shut eye real quick off that snooze fest of a game that we were just watching. How are you? What you been up to? Yeah, having a good night? Serbia, y'all good? Argentina, y'all good? Let me go ahead and say that I am making this video while the Denver Nuggets are still playing. That's how awful tonight's game was. But, yeah, it's not much to report on. I have exactly a couple slots of notes, but none of that really matters because, hey, you know what? The Nuggets were coming off back-to-back, and this is Toronto Raptors saying bye to Kyle Lowry and Nolan Powell, and they basically were just saying, we're going to make every three possible. By the way, I'm SwipaCam. Welcome to another episode. SwipaGang. We recently reached 2,000 subscribers as of yesterday. We're going to keep going. 10,000 subscribers. We're going to Serbia. Continue to hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Let's do this together. So, as of right now, the score is 127 to 94. 127 to 94. The Raptors have hit 52% of their shots, 42 of 81. They've hit 51% of their three-pointers. 22 of 43. Whew, 22 three-pointers. Like 18. They had like 18 through three quarters. Well, there's not much we can do about that, y'all. At least Jokic gets some rest. Only played 30 minutes, 20, 10, and 5 tonight, an 8 of 14 shooting. Yeah, y'all. I think the Nuggets, man. We're gonna talk through some stuff, but really, we're not gonna talk about the game a whole lot tonight. It's just what are the takeaways from tonight's games? Other than that, the Toronto Raptors are shooting maybe their best performance of the year. They have lost 9 straight games up to this point, 9 straight, and then all of a sudden they're blitzing the Denver Nuggets, who have won 8 of their last 2 till tonight. Right now, Pascal Siakam's 3 of 7, 8 of 16 from the field, 27 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. Kyle Lowry, 2 of 3 from the three-point line. Fred VanVleet, 5 of 9 from the three-point line. OG Anunoby, 5 of 9 from the three-point line. Powell, 3 of 4 from the three-point line. Watson, 4 of 7 from the three-point line. Again, this is a team that lost 9 straight. They're not even in the playoffs, I believe, right now in the Eastern Conference. So they're up currently 3:21 left, 129 to 96. So who cares? Who cares? Y'all, trade deadline's tomorrow. The trade deadline is tomorrow, and is this Will Barton's last game? Let me know in the comment section. Will Barton tonight. Again, Will Barton knows he's on the trade block. He knows he's on the trade block. He had 23 minutes tonight, 0 points, 3 rebounds. 0 of 8 from the field, 0 of 3 from the three-point line, and he was, of all the starters, the worst players of the starters, minus 20. Now, here's the thing. Let's just have a conversation, you all. I understand the human element that when you're on the trade block, think about it. You got a family. You live in a place. He's lived in Denver. He's been with Denver since like the 2015 season, I believe. The Denver Nuggets took a flyer on him. He's been here longer than everybody except for Gary Harris. And all of a sudden, likely, he might be traded come tomorrow afternoon. So there's a lot of things that go through your head. So I can imagine that Will Barton has a lot of things he's concerned with right now. Gary Harris ain't even playing. We haven't had Gary Harris for like 23 games or something this year. He's missed like 21 of the last 22 games. He might be traded tomorrow. Bobo's in the game right now. He might be traded. Bobo's getting minutes. He might be gone. So, man, there's a human element to this. It's likely that Will, maybe he knows this is his last game. Maybe he just feels the pressure of the trade deadline. This might be one of his worst games, bottom 2, maybe his worst game of the year. Jamal Murray, he was playing decent when he was in. Jokic was dominating, but he had some missteps. Jokic had 4 turnovers, a lot of frustration turnovers. Like, when Jokic is expecting to cut, somebody doesn't cut. Michael Porter Jr. had 19 and 8. 7 of 13 from the field, 5 of 6 from the three-point line. He was playing well. But, y'all, outside of Michael Porter Jr., Jokic, Murray, there was nobody else. You're going to have to talk about Facu Campazzo, too, man. Facu Campazzo, He's 2 of 5 tonight from the three-point line, but when it mattered, when they were still in the game, he had missed like 3 straight. And he's shooting less than 20% over the last like 10 plus games from three-pointer. That's just not going to cut it. So the thing is, if you're going to be that small playing in the NBA, again, in the NBA, just the way that the league is structured, you have to be able to shoot and be a threat. Too often tonight, when that second unit was in, Facu, man, they were just leaving him wide open. Wide open. They don't fear him. They're not worried about Facu Campazzo. Leaving him wide open in the corner. And so all of a sudden now, even if it's PJ Dozier, Jamal Murray, Jermichael Green, they're just standing to help. Because they're not really worried about this 5'11" dude. And they can close out on him. Because he can't get to the basket. Even when he drove to the basket tonight. It went way up off the backboard because he's just a threat to get it blocked. So he's had good games. But the last few games he's played, he's not been good. He hasn't been good on offense as a shooter. Now, again, we know that's an issue. But once again, just the way the NBA is, this is why it don't make sense. If you're going to surround Nikola Jokic with players, you surround him with shooters and defenders. Because if you surround him with shooters, you can't cheat off of Murray. Dang sure can't cheat off of anybody to go help Murray or help with MPJ or help with Jokic. You can't do it. But when Facu's in the game or you got people that are non-shooters in the game, they're going to cheat. They're going to help. And it makes Jokic's job harder. And again, Jokic is the leading MVP candidate. His PER after last night's game was a 31.9 NBA record. 12.1 box plus minus. 12.1 box plus minus, third in NBA history. So, man, he's playing well. He's killing it. But it's going to go down after tonight. I mean, that's for sure. Jokic has played every game this season. And again, man, the Nuggets, I don't think they've given up 135 points all year. I don't think they have. I don't know if they have. They have the 13th ranked defense, I think, in defensive rating now. They're only giving up like the 9th highest ranked per points per game in the NBA. So defense has been good outside of the first 5 games. And so, like I said, man, yeah, the Toronto Raptors hit 24 three-pointers. I don't think they've done that all year. So it is what it is, y'all. They're 51% from 3, 91% from the line. They're 21 to 23 from the line. 52% from the field, 45 of 87, and 24 of 47 from the three-point line. That's how you lose games. It doesn't matter. That's how you lose games. They were just hot. They're saying goodbye to Kyle Lowry. They're also saying goodbye possibly to Powell. So it is what it is. Let's talk trades, man. Let's clear the air. It happened. We don't care. The Denver Nuggets are still the 5th seed. They're still vying for a top 4 seed, especially with the Lakers free falling. I think they're going to go on a streak here and win a lot of games. But again, you ran into a buzzsaw tonight. It is what it is. Let's talk trade deadline tomorrow night. The question is, will Aaron Gordon or Harrison Barnes or Lonzo Ball or another player, which one of those players is going to be on the Denver Nuggets roster come tomorrow? I saw a Twitter feed earlier today that it was expressing that there are teams that are just go for it. Your Brooklyn Nets, they are go for it. It killed them when they traded for Paul Pierce and KG and Joe Johnson and all of them. It killed them. They traded like 8 first-round picks, killed them. Danny Ainge still got picks from the Nets, killed them. But they went for it, and all of a sudden they went for it again. They signed KD, they signed Kyrie, they went for it, got James Harden. Now they're vying for the number 1 spot in the East years later. They went for it. LA Lakers, they went for it. They drafted D'Angelo Russell. They drafted Julius Randle. They drafted Brandon Ingram. They drafted Lonzo Ball. 3 of those players are all-star players now. They traded them all away because LeBron James. They traded them all away. Anthony Davis. They won a championship. You see, the thing is, like, you're only so good. Even if you have a bunch of young athletes, and this is where Tim Connolly maybe not gets in trouble, but again, you see where he's done a really good job. The reason he's so sought after, he's a top 3 or 4 general manager in the NBA. That's clear, based on his track record. Right up there with Sam Presti, right up there with Daryl Morey, right up there with, Toronto, Masai Ujiri. Who else? What other GM? Don't say the Lakers either, because Lakers is the Lakers, so they just happened to walk into that situation. That was Kobe Bryant's agent that took over that position. So, he's one of the top 3 or 4 or 5. So, the thing is, though, he's so intent on building a healthy, strong core. Yeah, right now, Kyle Lowry was a plus 42 tonight. That's the highest plus minus of any player this year. Like I said, man, the Nuggets didn't show up to that game. Yeah, they hit 23 three-pointers tonight. 23 three-pointers. That's a franchise record. Anyway, y'all, back to the trade stuff. So this is what we have to understand. The Denver Nuggets have a strategy of building young players, building young assets, and building around them, letting them grow up. Jamal Murray, Nikola Jokic, letting MPJ grow up, letting Will Barton come into his own in the trade, letting Gary Harris grow. But here's the thing. The Denver Nuggets have been really very, very, very hesitant to make any splash trades, whether it's for Drew Holiday, whether it's for Jimmy Butler, whether it's for Kevin Love back in the day. They just don't do that. They don't want to skip the steps. But here's the thing, y'all. The Denver Nuggets have so many young assets. Okay, what are the Denver Nuggets? So this is my question. Nikola Jokic is having a top 5 all-time NBA season right now, in my opinion. Per the data, you're leading the NBA in PER record. Per the data, he's third in box plus minus in the season all time. Per the data, he's leading in win shares. Win shares for 48. Top 10 score in win shares per 48. Per the data, offensively, defensively, he's a plus player. Offensively, having an all-time season. 27, 11, and 8. 42% from 3, 57% from the field, 87% from the free throw line. Per the data, excellent. Here's the thing. What does R.J. Hampton give Nikola Jokic at 26 years old? 26, 27, 28, 29. Does R.J. Hampton help him win a championship? Does R.J. Hampton help him win a championship this year and an MVP season? Does R.J. Hampton help Jamal Murray win a championship? Does he help MPJ grow into the player he's supposed to be? Does Zeke Naji, Bol. Now, Vlatko Cancar, we keep him. We know why. Serbian connection. That's one of Jokic's best friends. That's why he's on the team. That's probably the only reason he's on the team. Do you keep PJ Dozier? Do you keep Bol, RJ Hampton, Zeke Naji? Do you keep Marcus Howard? Do you keep even a Facu Campazzo, even though he came out from, left his family, moved to Denver like in the middle of COVID, all that stuff? But, do you keep these people? Are these assets that help you amplify your best players? That's what basketball is. That's what the LA market is. That's what the New York market is. That's what the Brooklyn market is. Do you amplify our best players? And right now, Jokic is having the MVP leading season. First time in Nuggets history, likely. We're going to have a player and win the MVP. Should he? Lord willing, he should. Do you have the assets to amplify his play? Can you consolidate a first-round pick that's going to be in the late 20s anyway? Can you consolidate a Will Barton on an expiring contract or a player option come next year? Do you have the ability to take R.J. Hampton or Zeke Naji, a young player, put those 3 players together, ship them to Orlando for a 25-year-old Aaron Gordon to be the 4th piece in a potential dynasty? Aaron Gordon shifts the momentum to Jokic winning an MVP and winning an NBA Finals in the same year. R.J. Hampton doesn't do that. That first-round pick that's going to get better 4 years from now doesn't do that. Will Barton, again, the Nuggets don't struggle with offense. They struggle with containing wings. Tonight, they couldn't stop a player over 6'6". They was having their way with the team. They don't have it. They have a huge hole in their defense. Does Harrison Barnes, does Aaron Gordon, do they help Jokic win an MVP and win a Finals? Period. Do they help Jamal Murray become an all-NBA player? Do they help him win an NBA championship? Do they help Michael Porter Jr. continue to grow into a top 10 potential player? Because if the question is that, and you can't answer that with a solidified yes, that's the difference between a big market and the difference between a team that just holds on to their young assets because they're afraid that they're going to get a big player and that player's not going to want to stay. But you can't live in fear, man. This is the thing. If you're not trading for Aaron Gordon or even Harrison Barnes because you're fearful that after next year, Aaron Gordon's going to leave and you're going to lose out on a pick and a couple young players, if you're fearful for that, when you have an MVP, when you have an all-NBA caliber player in Jamal Murray, when you have Michael Porter Jr., you're fearful for that, that's the wrong decision to make. Again, man, I've been big. I have been supportive of Will Barton. I've been very supportive of Gary Harris since 2014. I loved him out of Michigan State. But he ain't been the same. Do these players help Jokic win a Finals? Because if you can't say that, if you say that Aaron Gordon gives Nikola Jokic a better opportunity to win a Finals than having Will Barton and R.J. Hampton in a future first-round pick, then it's a no-brainer. That's what you do. If Harrison Barnes helps Nikola Jokic win an NBA Finals instead of that first-round pick that's going to be good years from now, instead of Gary Harris, that's what you do. If Bol can't help Nikola Jokic win an NBA Finals in the next 2 to 3 seasons, then that is the decision you make. They got to go. Everything that the Nuggets do is about Nikola Jokic, firstly, Jamal Murray, and Michael Porter Jr. Everything they do. That's what international community, again, if you're aware of it, good. If you're not, I'm introducing you to it. That's what the NBA is about. You surround your elite talent with other elite role-playing talent, and you let them go. LeBron James had Kyrie Irving. He had Kevin Love, but he had Richard Jefferson. He had Channing Frye. He had my Australian brother. I can't even remember his name now, man, but what's the name? Matthew Dellavedova. He had Tristan Thompson. They overpaid for J.R. Smith. You overpay for solid role players to surround your elite Hall of Fame best player in the NBA talent, LeBron James and Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love. You overpay. You sell, you do what you got to do. You get rid of young assets because you know it's about them. When they had Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Harrison Barnes, or Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, you have players around them. Sean Livingston, a 6'7" point guard, you overpay. You overpay. You have a Zaza Pachulia on the team. You get rid of Mo Spates, and you get a Kevin Looney. Like, you get a DeMarcus Cousins off of a bender of $1.5 million for the year. You do it because you do it to surround your best players with talent. That's what this is about. That's what this is about. The NBA is about championships. Your best players, your MVPs, they deserve championship caliber players. Tim Connolly, Calvin Booth, this is the moment. I've never been one to try to rush the process, but this ain't rushing it. You don't skip out on players having a top 5 NBA season. You don't do it. If you can do it, if you can get Aaron Gordon, I don't care what the Celtics are offering. Do I believe that Aaron Gordon helps me win a championship this year? I do. I believe he can because the West is wide open. Jokic is the best player and no one has an answer for him. Jamal Murray in the playoffs, no one has an answer for him. Michael Porter Jr. is evolving. You give me Michael Porter Jr. and you give me Aaron Gordon to be role players around those two right now, and as Michael Porter Jr. ascends, you do it. RJ Hampton ain't helping me win a championship this year. Zeke Naji is probably not helping me win a championship in the next 2 years. So I can't worry about what am I losing out on with young players that could be's. I know that Aaron Gordon is at least an elite role player for at least 2 seasons. So you do it. I know Harrison Barnes is a pro's pro. I know he can shoot. I know he's a bigger body. You do it. I know Lonzo Ball. I might have to pay him $20 million a year, but he's a 6'6" facilitator who can defend next to Jamal Murray, who can make Jamal Murray into that elite 2 guard that he is. You do it. That's just the bottom line. The NBA is about how do I position my best players to be great. So if we have a trade tomorrow, we're going to have a video tomorrow night. Expect a video tomorrow night. If we make a trade, hopefully the Nuggets do. This is SwipaCam, SwipaGang. The next time the Denver Nuggets play is on Friday against the New Orleans Pelicans again. They need to get another win. Then they got Atlanta. They need to get a win. Then they got Philly. They need to get another win. Then they got the Clippers. We have an opportunity, y'all. This is SwipaCam, SwipaGang. We out. I'll see y'all tomorrow.